Welcome to my long-awaited watercolor sketchbook tour. It is sunny today, so I'm keeping my promise and we're doing a sketchbook tour. However, I need to preface this with a couple disclaimers. So first of all, this sketchbook took a very long time to finish. Some issues were in the way of me using it more often, and I don't really feel like emotionally connected to it anymore. And I feel like a lot of art, many pages in it are awful and look bad. Hopefully we will find some that look nice, because actually I haven't really checked it before recording this video. Another disclaimer is I'm just a hobby artist. I draw and paint as a hobby, so I hope you're not expecting any kind of professional quality art from me. This is just what I do for fun. I know it's wonky, I know it's not very good sometimes, but it is what it is, you know. If I keep at it, maybe it will get better. So what other option do I have than to paint and draw? And the final disclaimer before we begin is this is going to be a long video, so I suggest you grab some tea or coffee, take out your drawing supplies, painting supplies, work on your stuff, and listen to me in the background. Okay, so this is my third handmade watercolor sketchbook, and I started using it, I suppose, roughly in March 2022. Oh no, that's where I made it. I made it on the 27th of March 2022. I used one full sheet of Fabriano Artistico cold press 100 cotton paper, and I used one full sheet of Canson Heritage cold press cotton paper, which is my favorite paper. And it's not written here, but I think the dimensions are about 18.5 by 18.5 centimeters, like 19 by 19 centimeters, and I got a total of 48 pages. I did everything myself, got some cardboard, wrapped it in a printout of a photo I took myself, and this is some maybe apple tree blooming in my town. No idea. So I have lots of pages where I just swatch things, and this is glued on here for some reason. I did this with Neocolor 2 crayons, and this is the actual first page. It even says sketchbook number 3. There is no date here as far as I can see, but I suppose something like Bridgerton must have been playing in the background, and the Indian women in that show are gorgeous, so I suppose I wanted to paint a portrait of an Indian lady, I guess, yeah. And the kind of leitmotif, the motive in the sketchbook is a lot of sparkles, because I love sparkles anyway. And this is my sketchbook. I'm not trying to make it super aesthetic or anything. I'm just trying to put more watercolor and ink and maybe gouache on the paper, since it's high quality paper, which can take a beating. But really, I don't have any ambition to make it beautiful and make every spread great. So what's next? Oh, I remember. This is like May 2022, and I was at my parents' house, My mom is a big fan of gardening, and she has some pansies on her balcony. So I just painted these from life, and I even glued the dried flower and dried leaf in here. And this one I think I painted later back at home. And I found this crazy vivid flower, supposedly it actually exists, on Pinterest. Okay, next up we have fun art. I was playing the Elden Ring game. I'm a big fan of Souls games. I have played all of them except Demon Souls. I've never finished Demon Souls, but I've played all of the Dark Souls and Sekiro and Bloodborne and Elden Ring. I haven't finished Elden Ring though, but in Elden Ring, oh, I shouldn't lay on the table. In Elden Ring, there is this character called Queen Ranala, and her design and her whole story is so good and kind of sad. So of course I had to put her in my sketchbook. And what I do in my sketchbooks is if I buy art supplies, I will put like what I bought and when I bought it and maybe do some swatching. So apparently in May 2022 I bought the Neon Academy watercolor from Schminke. I like them. They're okay. I don't like the blue one. Like, I think it's not very neon at all. But the pink one, the yellow one are the best. And then the green one, the orange one are fine as well. And I switched around my watercolor setup and got 3 Holbein colors and this eraser as well, I guess. Okay, this is more of Elden Ring stuff. And I was really going crazy with metallic inks and metallic watercolors. So this is Queen Marika the Eternal, at least my version of her. She's like the main lore person in the Elden Ring game, even though she's not like someone you actually really meet or interact with. And I actually really like this background. It looks nice like that. And then if you see it at an angle, there's lots of sparkles. And this one, I was just playing around with gouache. I think I did the base with watercolor and then added lots of details with gouache. I hope you can see. Like, there are many layers of this greenery in the background. And maybe her hair is done with this paint. It's possible. Next, we have more swatching. I got some like metallic stuff. And shortly I got the Holbein watercolor. I like the Brilliant Pink, Jaune Brilliant No. 2 and Jaune Brilliant No. 1. All of the Japanese artists use them in their art to make skin colors. I don't like the gold, it's not opaque enough. Kuretake Fude pen is just awful. I think I threw mine away. Holbein acrylic gouache and Turner acrylic gouache, they are great. At that point I was getting some individual Neocolor too. I like them. They're great for drawing. I like using them as crayons. And I have this, I have had these before, but I wanted to compare them with this. I got the Liquitex acrylic inks in silver, gold and copper. Excuse me. And I wanted to compare them to the Talens acrylic ink in deep gold and light gold. And I like the Talens ink much more. The Liquitex ink is not opaque enough. It's very watery, and you kind of have to put many layers to get a nice color. This is definitely done with the Schminke Academy neon colors. Just some scrap piece of paper with swatches. And this is a girl I saw on Pinterest, and she actually did have a very neon yellow hair. Here the background is done in silver. There is a long story that comes with this one, but I don't want to make this film like 3 hours long, so let's get on with it. She was kind of inspired by ball jointed dolls from Japan, if you know what that is. Okay, and this is, I think, the last page before I went off track. I was getting ready for a jaw surgery, and I was terrified and super stressed. I broke, I don't even know how many plates because I dropped them. My hands were shaking, and yeah, so maybe like this kind of holy angel dead lady kind of portrays my fears pretty well, like what if I die? But luckily I didn't die, and now also my jaw is straight and healthy, so yay. And I swatched all of my gold supplies. If you're looking for some nice gold supplies, I can recommend the Winsor Newton ink in gold. I really like the Finetec Premium colors. Only one reads as kind of golden. I do like the Gansai Tambi Starry colors, which are here. They're pretty nice. And Schminke Horadam watercolor in gold is also pretty good. And then the other thing I can recommend is Talens acrylic ink in deep gold and light gold. That's it. And the other ones, don't bother with them. Like, for example, this is the Unibo Signo pen. It's, yeah, while it is gold, it's nothing compared to the other ones. And Kuretake Fudepen, just awful. Etius Pika from Copic, awful. Zig Fudebiori Metallic, ugh, that's not even gold, it's some kind of yucky, khaki color. Neotol Color 2 in gold is not really gold as well. So yeah, stick to the Winsor Newton, Gansai Tambi Starry colors, Finetec Premium in iridescent yellow, Schminke watercolor, and Talens acrylic ink. So yeah, so after this page, I think yeah, look, this is the 12th of July, and my surgery was in the beginning of August. So after that, I think I might have gone to hospital. No, maybe I squeezed these in before my surgery. I really wanted to do some botanical watercolor stuff. And painting those grapes, I really had a tough time. I had no idea where to stop because I painted them wet and wet and added many layers. And like, is this finished? Or this finished? Or is this finished? Or is this finished? You can add so many layers, you kind of have no idea where to stop. And here the oranges, I feel like they're lacking depth, shadow. But I have no idea what color to use to add shadows to oranges. So if you know, hit me up, let me know in the comments. Okay, and from here on, this sketchbook gets wonky. Because this was, like, this is just awful. I'm embarrassed to even look at it. No sketch, no plan, no proportions, nothing. This was just some sketching, and I wanted to draw red eyes. But from here on, I really jumped around the pages, so it's not in order anymore. And I had a long break from painting and drawing after my jaw surgery. I was really swollen, and it took a long time to feel like myself and feel human again, basically. It was a very traumatic event. But around October, I swatched my new watercolor setup, and on the 29th of October I got back to kind of doing at least some art. So it really took a long time for me to get over myself, but we are slowly getting better here, right? Okay, this is I don't like it at all, but I think I use Neocolors too with water and watercolor. Here I finally got Potter's Pink and Aquarius Black, and this is already January. This is the 25th of December, this is 29th of January last year. So what I was doing here, I was comparing paper, because I got this handmade paper, and this is the Fabriano Artistico cold pressed paper. This is the handmade paper with nothing special, and this is the handmade paper with Schminke Aqua Ground, because I was kind of worried I wouldn't be able to paint on this paper. But actually the paper with aqua ground looks the worst. Can you see this pooling, and ew, it looks very bad, while watercolor on just this paper looks fine. Of course it looks the best on this paper, but I was thinking of doing some botanical pieces on this paper. It's quite cute, it has pieces of plants in it. So yeah, maybe one day. This paper is still waiting. Okay, this is February. I was feeling like painting this something angel themed, and this is a little Cupid type angel. And I was really into toned, muted color palette. I was loving Buff Titanium and Venetian Red and Misty Morning and Lavender from Roman Schmo. So these are all the colors that I used here. And this one I really like. I like her a lot. This is the Schminke watercolor palette they released in collaboration with Paper Concept Store Swatched. Yeah, no words, just some girl on the beach, I guess. And this is May 2023. And here is this princess. I have never played Zelda games, but she kind of reminds me of a Zelda world. And because this is exactly the middle of the sketchbook, this is where the Fabriano Artistico pages end and Canson Heritage pages begin. So she's saying goodbye, Fabriano. The quest is over, right? I really like Fabriano Artistico 100% cotton paper. It's great, and at least in Poland, it's much more affordable than Arch or Canson papers. Anyway, here we are jumping around in time, because this was done on 27th July 2022, and this was done in May 2022. This is awful, but I wasn't trying to do an ink and wash, but this is what this sketchbook is for just trying random stuff and doing whatever I like. This is the 13th of February 2023, I think. And I used watercolor and gouache and colored pencils. And for some reason, I really don't like this. I mean, there's nothing bad about it, but I'm disappointed. Okay, this is May 2023. Just inking with a dip pen and using some vibrant, cutesy colors to paint this manga style chibi. I like her eyes. Okay, this is old. This is February 2022. And I don't know what's wrong with her arms. Like she's leaning back on this thing. But the theme for this spread, these 2 pages, was partying ladies. So I put a ton of glittery paints using the Holbein acrylic Chroma Shine and Chroma Pearl paints here on the fireworks. And here I used the Fine Tech Iridescent watercolor, which are very good. And I used the gouache here in this one, a lot of gouache. And this is mostly watercolor with some gouache. Oh, yeah, I do like this spread a lot. This is June 2023. And I wanted to portray feelings of betrayal and disappointment and anger and like resentment at being treated unfairly. I suppose I was beefing a bit with someone at the time, and I just put my negative emotions on paper and it really helped. I still like this a lot. I might make these into stickers and put them on my stuff. And just to look at this stunning mineral violet from Roman Schmoll here. Okay, what's next? I suppose this was around the time I finished watching the most recent season of Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. And this guy, Iguro, and Kanroji are a super cute couple from this anime, so I just drew them, painted them taking a walk. And here I was using a lot of chameleon watercolors from Rembrandt, as well as some acrylic paints. I put all of the paints in the frame, so this is extremely glittery and shiny. And she kind of reminds me of the mom from Ponyo Ghibli film, but the kind of concept is like cosmos mother figure, something like that. Okay, this is just a place for me to put all of the, now you can see, all of the chameleon paints from Rembrandt. I used a different one here and a different one here. And there is some glitter and shine in her eyes. And if you want a paint that doesn't really show up front, has no color base, but shimmers in a very glittery way and very delicate way, I strongly suggest trying the Rembrandt chameleon paints. They are great. And other than that, I used Misty Morning and Shadow Violet and Przybysz Gray, which are like my favorite gray watercolors. This is from July 2023. I actually needed a break from reality, and I took my bike, I took a tent, and I just went to live in the woods, go camping at a camping site, and ride around on my bike for a week or 10 days. And I stayed at this beautiful campsite in Mazury region of Poland, which is my favorite part of Poland, the lake region. And the photo the picture doesn't convey it because the proportions are whack, but I had this beautiful view of a lake, and there would be a stunning sunset every evening, and all the people from the campsite would just sit next to the shore and stare at the beauty of the sunset and the nature. And everyone was so calm and just admiring the beauty of it all. So it was really a magical place, a great holiday. I cycled a ton, and yeah, I have this silly sketch as a memory of that. Okay, so next up, it was my birthday, and Cherry Ola art from Instagram was super duper kind and sent me some gifts. So not only did she send me her handmade paints, because she is a paint maker and she is a self-proclaimed pigment maniac. Do check her out. I love the paints she made herself. She even sent me some PO49, which is like out of stock. You can't buy this anymore. So this is the original quinacridone gold. Thank you, Ola. I especially loved all of the purple tones, but I love all of her paint. And she sent me some other things to try as well, like little dot cards and some samples. I really like this Kusakabe Harmonia watercolor, granulating color separating watercolor. Very cute. She sent me some Michael Harding watercolor to try. I like them. They are very pigmented, but they are very sticky. And there's a lot of honey in them. I tried the Rosa Gallery Super Granulating series, which is nice, but well, I'm trying not to buy any new brands, so I just tried them and liked them. And she sent me some Memory blue colors too, which are very nice. I suppose if they are affordable to you, get them. Good brand. And she also sent me some Daniel Smith samples, which I really appreciate because I love this one. I love the indigo. I love quinacridone coral, quinacridone red. This is Winsor Newton Rose Madder Genuine, which actually has a flowery smell to it. And yeah, I was actually using those paints a lot. And these are some of my paints. So I painted this using paints from Ola. Her hair, I think, is the PO49. And the background is one of the paints Ola made herself, 19E, so it's this one. Then I found this art hashtag on Instagram called August Herb Forest. It was under the patronage of many Instagram artists, and I think there were 4 prompts, one for each week of August, and I started at the Nettle and Moon prompt. So I had this idea of hiding like little elf-like creatures in each of my illustration. And of course I had to use the glittery Rembrandt paints. This is like rays of moonlight. And between the nettle leaves, something magical is hiding and watching you from the dark. Yay! This is the next prompt from August Herb Forest. The prompt was salvia and wolf. So you got it. Salvia here, wolf here, and a little magical creature hiding there as well. Here I got some the new colors from Roman Szmo as soon as they came out, and I swatched them. I love those colors. This is kind of unfinished, but I decided to let it go. I still like it though. These are the two final pages I did in this sketchbook actually. So more kind of emotional illustrations, which I really like. I really like doing stuff like that when you have strong emotions and you just express how you feel, how it feels on paper, in a painting, in a drawing. I find that really therapeutic. And then we go back in time. So just my favorite palette swatched, some color mixes, some witch with super granulating, Mars black or Aquarius black probably. More swatches of different greens this time. I like this one. This is the autumn green, and I like cobalt green deep. And what is this? Daniel Smith undersea green. Yeah, I have a tube of that one too. And the last page I was swatching some reds, and this is actually a line art just from online. I didn't draw this car. I have no idea how to draw cars. I used the line art and tried out the watercolors because I don't really know how to use like warm intense reds. So I swatched a few of them and used them here. And that's pretty much it for this sketchbook. As I said before, it took me way too much time to finish. Like, I'm not even emotionally invested in it anymore. I will happily put it on a shelf and let it go. And I don't think I will be making any handmade sketchbooks for now, because I really enjoy working or painting in the Strathmore sketchbook. So yeah, this sketchbook is done and finished. I'm very happy I got through it all in around 30 minutes. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you liked my recent videos. I'm not putting any background music in them on purpose. And I wanted to make a kind of everything about a water-soluble oil paints, but I don't think that's happening anytime soon. So maybe you would like to see some art book reviews. I have a lot of Japanese art books and I have some watercolor art books. But yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.